Hello. Welcome to another episode of OmenG's Stupid Scary Stories. Number, I think it's 35. I know I didn't do a New Year's story, but it's craziness. I just got home today. It was bad. It was bad. You know, we went on a trip and shit. Decided that we were gonna go out as a family and do some family stuff, right? Hopped in the car, happy, just chillaxing as it were. Just driving down I-80. Dark out. It's a little bit after, let's say 7-ish. Was driving. Road was so dark. Just like got super dark out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like the type of darkness that you feel like you could reach out and like actually touch it. That's how dark it was. It's like it was closing in. It didn't seem like it was an expansive darkness. It was closed in darkness. It started to feel claustrophobic, like you were trapped in a box. Turn to my wife, I'm like, hey, are we going the right way? This seems strange. I don't see any like overhead lights, no moon, no street lights, no reflectors. And the headlights are just like dimming into the darkness. She's like, I'm just going straight. I don't know. I said, maybe you should pull over for a second, get out and see if I can see or hear something. She's like, yeah, but I can't even tell what the side of the road is. I was like, well, we're in the right lane, so just pull over a little bit. Maybe you'll feel a difference in the road. So, she pulls over. I open the door to get out. When I open the door, it's just this feeling of not cold air. It's like dry, kind of cold. But not cold. Not like, cold. Just like it was a different temperature than the air, obviously, in the car, right? Not cold, though. I want you to understand that. It just felt dry. It's like air pushed and blow onto. It's like pushed up against and into the car and around me. And it just felt like I was being enveloped in atmosphere of some sort. Or darkness, I didn't see anything. I didn't hear anything. No other cars passing by. And I-80 is I-80. I don't know if anybody is familiar with I-80, but there's traffic on I-80. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of freaked out at this point. Excuse me. A little nervous. I get back in the car. She's like, well, what did you see? I'm like, nothing. Did you hear anything? I'm like, no, I didn't hear. I didn't see. It was weird. It's weird. I was like, I honestly don't know what we should do. So, we sat there for a little while, right? And I'm looking out of my window, just, trying to figure out why it's so damn dark. I'm just looking out. And it's at this point, I see these, like, little red dots, like glowing lights. In the darkness. I can't say if they're behind trees or anything because I can't see anything. It's that dark. It's like it's dark, black as my hat. It's everywhere. Dark. It's like, I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like if I pulled fucking shit over my face, that's how it was. It's dark. Anyway, right? So I see these little red dots off somewhere in this darkness, right? I'm just looking at them. And I'm noticing that they're swaying in groups of 8. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 dots, all moving like this, sort of like bobbing side to side. And I'm just like sitting there staring at it, and I'm noticing one group of these 8 dots is getting larger as it's weaving and bobbing. It's coming closer and closer and closer, right? So me still in disbelief, I'm staring at these little red dots. My wife is like, "What are you looking at?" I was like, "Can you see do you see what I'm seeing out this window?" It's like, do you see the little red lights?" So she, strains her eyes real quick, puts her glasses on, and she looks and she can see that there's something else. She's like, "Yeah, what the fuck is that?" The kids are in the back, not really paying attention. One of them's on this switch, the other one's on his phone, so they're not really noticing what's going on. They're just kind of like, "Why did they stop?" "Oh, well, whatever, who cares?" That's how they're doing. So I'm like, "Babe, start the car, start the car." I'm just getting this really bad feeling. This is just really bad feeling. It's bad feeling. Really bad. Feeling that I was getting was really bad. The feeling. So, she starts the car. And as she starts the car, I noticed that all the lights that I'm seeing towards the side of us are all starting to become larger. And they're moving quickly. Quickly. No more of this sideways bobbing shit. Now they're up, down, up, down, up, down, coming at me. Like, oh shit. I'm like, "Yo, go, go, go." Slams on the gas. Where am I going? Just go straight. Just go straight. Boom, woof. Flying down what I guess is the road. I'm hoping it's the road. It has to be the road, right? Only thing that we have that's telling us we're on the road, and this is as accurate as it can be, is the GPS that's in the window, on the dashboard. The console thing. Fucking GPS screen. Shit. That's what we're looking at. So we know, we have it zoomed in as close as you can possibly zoom it so we can still see that there's road ahead, but close enough that we can see if we're, on the road. And it's as accurate as you can get. Meaning, we weren't pinpoint accurate, but we had a really decent idea. And since there seemed to be no other cars about, because it was all darkness, we figured we were straight. We were safe. So, go, 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 go. So she's going. And as she hits the gas and starts to tear off, something hits the window. I hear a thud, smack up against the glass. Soft, but firm at the same time, as if someone maybe had a sock stuffed with sand and smacked the window. It kind of sounded like a sock stuffed with sand, hitting the window. Right, so, gone. Look behind us, I can see that these red dots, 8 of them in each of their sections, were just now back to doing this. But they were in the middle of the road, just bobbing back and forth. They weren't chasing us anymore, right? I'm like, holy shit. Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Fuck. Shit. She's looking at me. I'm looking at her. We're just like, what the fuck was that? The kids, of course, like I said, they didn't even notice anything was going on at all. Not a clue. Not a clue what was happening, right? So I turn around, and when I turn around once again to look behind us to make sure those things are still where they are or just gone, my youngest looks up. He's like, "What's going on with you, Dad? What's the matter with you? You look like you saw a ghost." I was like, "You don't know what just happened. It was ridiculous, Miles. It was ridiculous. I'd explain to you, but my heart right now needs to calm down. I'm scared." Right? Anyway, so we're driving. I'm looking at the GPS so she can look at the road, and I'm like, okay, it says here in about 200 or 300 feet there's an off ramp and a gas station. Let's go there. Let's go there and see if we can get our bearings and figure out, what the fuck's going on, because I don't know what's happening. So, my wife pulls off. We find this rest stop. It's like a gas station, truck stop type. Pilot. Think of pilot truck stops or travel, whatever they're called. You know what I'm saying? Truck stops. People who have seen truck stops know what truck stops are. So you understand what I'm saying? Place, big restaurants, trucks, cars, gas pumps, car washes sometimes. Shit like that. Shopping area. Bam. Right? Get there. It's relatively empty. Relatively empty. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of cars. Not a lot of trucks. Not a lot of people either. But there are some people. And as we pull into the parking lot, right, I notice the people inside are looking out at us with like this look of shock and disbelief. Like, they were just, right? So, we park, open the doors, hop out the car, go inside. Bam. And the people are like looking at us with this panicked look on their faces. Like they wanted to scream at us to hurry up. And, I noticed at this point, an older guy comes to the door. He opens it. He's like, come on. Get in here. So we hurry our asses up. My kid's still, I'm like, come on, let's go. Get inside. Bam. He closes the door. He locks it. We see people like huddled together, some are whimpering and crying and shit like that. Just sad. And one guy looks like he's just came out of a fucking war zone. He's just like staring off into space, muttering to himself. And then every now and then he would just start screaming, ah! 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 Somebody would go over there and calm him the fuck down and shit. And so they're like, hey, where are you guys coming from? We're like, oh, we're coming from Pennsylvania and shit. Where are we? Like, are we, according to what the GPS says, we're in Ohio somewhere. But where are we exactly? You know what I'm saying? I couldn't really tell. I saw no signs. I saw nothing. Just darkness. They're like, yes, we were all on the highway, me and my family anyway, and we were driving, and all of a sudden, just everything went dark. It was massive, like car accident, and then there was these noises and screams and yells, terror and horror. People started seeing body parts splashed all over the place. These red eyes in the distance. I was like, what? Yo, listen, we were driving, right? And I was just like, it's awfully dark. I asked my wife to pull over. And when we pulled over, there were these, like you said, these red eyes. And I don't know where they were. In the woods, I guess, maybe, perhaps. But they were off in the distance. And they started running towards us. And then something smacked my windshield, well, the window, the door glass on the side passenger thing. Bam, as we drove off. He's like, you guys are fucking lucky. It's like, usually they'll bash right through the fucking windows. I've seen them rip people out of their cars. I'm like, what? What are they? It's like, I don't know, but they're like almost giant spider type creatures. They've got many legs, 8 or more. Big, huge fucking mandibles. Ripping, tearing fangs. These fangs and mandibles, almost like the mouth of the predator, but bug-like, not lizard-like. And I'm thinking to myself, that is fucking crazy. He's like, yeah, they seem to hunt in packs, like wolves. There's a big one that's usually in control of the group of smaller ones. He'll send them after you, and then it's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. You guys are so fucking lucky. You're so lucky. I've seen them knock cars off their fucking axes. Tip them over and shit. Family panics trying to get out and... Well, where the fuck did they come from? Anybody have any idea? No. It's just dark. And they were there. It's like, why does it feel so empty? Like, I can understand them maybe eating people and not having any people left around, but where are all the cars? Where's the traffic? Was this happening everywhere all at once? It's like, I don't know. There's no cell phone service. GPSs still work somehow, but you can't make phone calls. We've tried. No landlines work, no cell phones work, no means of communication seems to work. I was like, well, my kids are playing video games and shit. They're like, we're not using Wi-Fi, Dad. I'm like, well, okay, well, shit. Like, I'm supposed to fucking know whether you're playing games on Wi-Fi or not. Shit. I thought everything you guys played was on Wi-Fi. Pardon me for assuming. Made an ass out of myself. Bastards. Shut your face. Anyway, so after he explains to me how he got there, and I'm walking around this place, it's pretty big, talking to all the different families and shit. They're all in shock and terror. Some of them are injured. I saw one guy, he was missing like a big chunk of his leg, and his wife, who just so happened to be a nurse, was, tending to him and shit. Kids were crying. Some kids didn't seem to give two shits because they were too busy, the thumbs and the fucking buttons and shit. So they had their faces buried. And as long as nothing disrupted that, they were fine. But as soon as those batteries started dying, oh my God, folks, immediately the panic set in. The panic set in. Now these kids were freaking out. Freaking out. Oh my God, you had to see it. It was fucking terrible. Oh my God! What happened? Dad! Shit! The internet! Why can't we charge our batteries? Dad! No! 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 Like, kids, calm down. Shh! Quiet! Quiet! It's bigger problems. It's bigger problems. It's giant spider-like creatures fucking eating people in darkness. No communication, no telephone, no Wi-Fi for you guys. You guys are just assed out. But fuck all that shit. No way to communicate. We don't know what's happening. Tried to turn on the TV. Obviously, nothing came through. It was static. If you can believe there's such thing as static nowadays. There was static. And that kind of freaked us out. You know, we're thinking to ourselves, why is there static all of a sudden? There's usually no static. It's just usually a blank screen. But there was static. There was static. You know, somebody got sick and tired of listening to the static and was going to turn the TV off. Somebody jumped up. No! No! Leave it on! If something comes through, we want to be able to see it when it comes through. We miss a message, some special alert, and just as he said that, a loud siren type sound came through the TV, like, you know, those old school, like, you know, air raid siren sounds that they played back in the day, you know, during the Cold War to like tell us, oh, go to a bomb shelter, or nuclear bombs are coming. Yeah, it was one of those things. Right, and all of a sudden the screen started counting down from 10. 1. And this person came on, right? Hello, my name is Jim Jameson. I have a message for all of the humans in the world. Do not attempt to fight us. It's in your best interest that you conform to our ways. Do as we say. Transition will be quick and painless. But if you continue to resist, we will send our minions to destroy you. And then it went blank. Jim Jameson. Looked like just a generic, regular, plain old anchor person from TV. You know, if you've seen one, you've pretty much seen them all. They all kind of look the same. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it looked like to me. We are all just kind of dumbfounded, staring up at the screen. Then went back to static. You know, kids started freaking out again. But like I said, they were freaking out because they had no game access or games they could play. They couldn't like do Apex or whatever games kids play these days. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just stick out the games my kids play because I feel like I'm picking on them. I don't want to be picking on them. I'm not picking on them, you know. But they couldn't play their games at the time. And they were a little upset. You know, I'm asking them, are you guys not kind of concerned with the fact that we just got a message from some guy calling himself Jim Jameson, and he said, confirmation, take over, transfer, minions, destroy, humans, Earth, taken, right? Not at all maybe concerned with what's going on with that? No. Shit. I don't know, maybe you could go fight the kids over there for the little cord that they have, and maybe you can ask them nicely or whatever. Or you guys can fight to death. Fight to death! You know, it was crazy because some kids really were fighting with each other over, like, you know, chargers. It was fucking ridiculous. At the same time, it was rather entertaining for us parents, you know what I'm saying? Because we figured, fuck it, they're not going to kill each other, we hope. A little fighting might do them some good. And it's entertaining. There's nothing else to watch. You don't want to get eaten by spiders. So, I know that sounds terrible. But it was fun to watch, you know. Kids were like doing wrestling moves off the top of tables and shit, beating each other up over fucking chargers. One kid would get the charger, like, yeah! And some other kid would come up behind him with a chair, BAM! Kid falls out, you know. Some kid jumps off a ladder. Where the ladder came from, we don't know. But he jumped off the ladder, like tables, ladder, and chair match. It was fucking like WWF, WWE, whatever, XXL, whatever, all the different wrestling companies that popped up after the original WWF. And That's what they were doing. It was crazy. They're fucking clotheslining each other, falling down, elbow drop, leg drop, figure four, fucking pile driver, tombstone, poof, stone cold stunner, You know what I'm saying? It was just fucking fun to watch. It was fun to watch. You know, fucking parents are putting bets on kids and shit. I bet you $5 your kid will whoop my kid's ass. All he does is sit there with the thumbs. I don't even know if he knows how to fight. Couldn't get that motherfucker outside for days. Shit, it was enough trying to drag him on a hunting trip with us. You know, I'm laughing at Bob and shit. That was his name. His name was Bob. You know, like. Crazy, you know. So, you know, after about a couple of hours of this, watching kids beat the shit out of each other, you know, it started to get a little bit old. You know, some of the parents started getting involved and shit. Hey, you can't stone cold stunner my son, he's only 5. He would, like, drop kick a 13-year-old and shit. Tag his mom in, she'd come jumping in with, like, a drop kick. Fucking crazy. Looked like Rumbleverse and shit. It was fucking weird for a little while. I mean, me and my wife and my kids are just kind of sitting together. You know, having a little charging thing. I'm like, here, guys, keep this to yourselves. It's wireless. We don't need to worry about plugging it in. Just be careful. Don't tell anybody. Come over here. It'll be crazy. Fight. We don't want to do that. So, you know, we were sitting there, hopefully, what we thought till was daylight. You know, we figured we got on the road about 7-ish. It's been a few hours now, 10, 12-ish. It's about midnight, probably. That's what we're thinking. It's about midnight. But you couldn't tell because it was just so damn dark. It was just so damn dark. Light did nothing. It just illuminated the exact area that it was in. You know them big-ass lights that they have at truck stops that usually light up an area, right? No, it just light straight down and not even all the way to the ground. So you can see the light, like, it was coming into the dark and then it would just, like, stop. It was just like, holy shit. I know the pole is over. Like, you could kind of gauge where you were going, sort of. But not really, you know. We're thinking to ourselves, well, the message that we just got from Jim Jameson, you know, he's talking about some takeover, transfer, this, that, and the other. Is this an alien invasion, interdimensional invasion? Like, what the fuck is going on? Parallel universe type shit spilled over? Like, what's happening? He looked human, but he's saying you humans. So he's obviously not human, right? Could he be a robot? He started pondering these things. You know, adults are having these debates now, or debating with each other about whether or not this is an alien invasion or what kind of shit's happening. And that's that point. We hear, like, thumping on the roof of the building. We knew what was going on. Those things were on the roof. They were on the roof. Now we're figuring we're safe inside. How are they going to get in, right? We didn't think about the ventilation system, the air conditioning, heating, you know, ductwork and all that shit. We weren't thinking about that shit. We didn't want to think about that shit. We just want to think about the fact that we weren't outside. Then we started to think about the fact that they could get inside. And very easily, without having to come through a door or smash a window or any of that shit. They could just come inside through the fucking grates and the ductwork and shit. And they could smash windows. They knocked cars over. So, you know, we kind of figured eventually if they decided they wanted to eat us, they were going to eat us. So that's at the time we started hushing the fucking kids up. Like, stop. Shut the fuck up. Shit's real now. Shit's real. Okay? Stop with your fucking yammering about a goddamn charger. In about 5 minutes, we're all going to be dead if these fuckers get in here. So we need to be thinking about what we could do to, like, make sure that doesn't fucking happen, right? So, you know, it just so happened that this truck stop was like a fucking mall. Like, seriously. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these types of truck stops before, but they literally have, like, everything. Mechanic shop, DOT center, fucking clinic, medicine. I'm talking about all the things you could possibly need. And it wasn't a gun shop too far away. You know what I'm saying? So we started putting plans together and shit. You know, we gotta defend ourselves. We have to defend ourselves. But we needed weapons first. You know, there were knives and things inside the truck stop, but there were no firearms. There were a few people had left their firearms in their cars. And they were being chicken shits. They didn't want to go outside and get them, and they didn't want anybody in their cars messing through their stuff. So they weren't going to give the keys to anybody else to go get them. A couple of them went, got their shotguns and shit, came back inside and was like, okay, blah, blah, blah. I'll hold it down here. You guys are going to have to go get your own guns. It's like, okay, right. You know, so me, like 3 other dudes, are like, we're going to go to the gun shop that this guy says is around that way, because he comes to this truck stop all the time for whatever strange reason. He knows there's a gun shop about maybe a half a mile down the road to the left. Right, we're gonna go there. Well, there's flashlights, you know, we got machetes and shit, poles, put tape knives onto the end of them so we can like stick them from a distance, you know. And we set out. I'm scared shitless. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm scared shitless. But I was more afraid of what would happen if they got in and we were trapped and didn't really have anywhere to go. So I was thinking, we should go get some guns. It's a good idea. More guns the merrier, right? You know what I'm saying? So the plan was we were going to put as many guns on our backs that we could carry. Then we remembered ammunition. So, you know, there was 3 of us. 4, actually. Me and 3 other guys. So 2 of us were going to put on bags, fill them with ammunition. Try to take simple shit so we could use all the same ammunition and the guns, so we didn't have to like run back and forth and be, oh, we only got enough of this. So we all decided we're gonna get shotguns and assault rifle type weapons, you know, 5.56. That's what we decided on, 5.56 or 223, however you want to look at it, right? You know what I'm saying? They're both the same. Anyway, right? So that's what we decided. Shotgun, 12 gauge, 223. Bam. We made a decision. It was done. Grab magazines, you grab ammunition, piled as much of it on us as we could, and safely move. As much as we could, right? Maybe 20 guns altogether, 10 per, strapped here, there, and carrying them in our hands, you know. A loaded one, just in case. Just so happened they had an AA-12, fully automatic shotgun. I was happy. Because, you know, you always see in fucking movies, it's always some giant insect type creature, and you'll see a person dump like a whole fucking clip of assault rifle ammunition into that shit, and it's just like eat you anyway, right? But you see with shotgun, it's like parts are flying all right. So I'm figuring fully automatic shotgun. I'm going to be blowing the hell out of all these shits. Fuck them. Yeah. Welcome back. We're looking here. We're looking there. We're keeping our eyes peeled. We know they're on the roof, but it's a huge roof, so they could be anywhere. We're not too worried about it at that point. So when we get back, you know, John lets us in. You know, the older guy from before that let us in the first place. He lets us in. He locks the doors back up. I'm thinking he might work there, because how else did he get the keys, right? Or maybe he didn't need the keys to lock the door. Doesn't matter. He probably worked there. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? That's not even important. The important part is we get back. We got the guns. Everybody's, you know, divvying them out. You know, giving women guns, shotguns, because you don't have to aim. You know, just point and shoot. Fucking, you don't have to be accurate. Blow them shits in half. Protect the babies. You know what I'm saying? The older kids were old enough to handle firearms. Arm them too. Bam, bam. So now we're armed. We're waiting for this shit to hit the fucking fan. TV static is still crackling in the background. Hear the noise on the damn roof. Look out into the darkness. We can see the eyeballs coming now. We see them coming. We see them. Panic sets in. Oh shit, panic. People are freaking out. Moms are crying. One mom is holding her shotgun, pointing it at herself. Like, I don't want to die this way. I'm like, no, don't blow your head off. Don't do that. Your kids, they need you. And now she starts pointing the gun at the kids. I'm like, no, don't kill the kids. Shit. We're gonna be okay. My wife is looking at me like, I'm like, I don't think so either. But I can't have her blow herself head off in front of all these kids. Freak everybody out. She's like, I think getting eaten by a fucking giant ass goddamn spider will probably freak everybody the fuck out just the same, if not worse. I'm like, yeah, that's true. I didn't really think of it that way. We're not gonna die. Fuck this. We're not gonna die. We can't die. New Year's. day. You gotta celebrate shit, you know? With the family, together. Nice meal. Happiness. Good thoughts, right? That's what I was thinking. We gotta pull through this. You know? Midnight. So what I thought. But it wasn't midnight. But midnight was coming. So the new year, we were going to bring in together as family, but with other families that were huddled together here to protect themselves from this minions, as Jim Jameson called it. Minions. We weren't sure what they were, but like I said, giant insect, mosquito, no, spider-like creatures, but not spiders. But like spiders, but they weren't spiders. They were big, but not spiders. Like I said, spider-like, but not spiders. Not giant spiders. I don't want you to get the wrong idea that they were giant spiders. No, they weren't giant spiders. Just, that's the only thought that most of us could kind of identify them with, is they kind of look like spiders, but they had more legs than spiders, but they were somewhat shaped like them. You get what I'm saying? Sort of, right? Okay, that just want you to understand. And who cares? If it was a giant spider, that's still fucking freaky, right? That's crazy. You see big spiders, and when I say big, I mean, you know, like a little bit bigger than the size of your thumb. And people see them the size of a fucking hand, and they're like, that's a giant fucking spider. And that is a giant spider. Now imagine something a little bit bigger than a fucking human. That's gigantic. But it wasn't a spider. So, let me move on. Now that I've, explained this to you. We're, huddled together. Everybody's taking up positions and shit to defend one another's families. We put all the kids in one place. Some kids that are old enough to hold firearms are holding down the children. The women are protecting those children. And we, men, are trying to protect everything else. So there's a few dudes that just weren't worth their weight in shit, but they were there nonetheless. And we were all thinking, as the men who were trying to defend the women and children, that if one of these things breaks in here and it gets a hold of one of them, we're not wasting bullets trying to save him. In fact, we'll use him as bait if we can to lure them towards him so we can protect the more important people. So we had our eyes on these fucking punks, motherfuckers that didn't want help. You know what I'm saying? We had our eyes on them. Like, yep. And when the fucking spiders come, y'all are getting eaten first. You don't want to help. You don't want to be a part of this. Part of survival. Now, someone's watch. Obviously, time was still being told because, it's not like cell phones just died and there was no charge. So we knew the time of day it was. It was almost midnight. It was almost New Year's, right? It was almost New Year's. We're all looking at the time. We're looking outside. We're looking at the time and we're looking outside. And 12 o'clock hits. Oh, Happy New Year! Shut the fuck up! Nothing happy about this! There's nothing happy about this! We could potentially die! I don't want to get eaten up by a whole bunch of shit I don't know about you! Shut up! Cocked back the AA-12. Made sure it was, off safety and all that good shit. Everybody's just waiting, it was tense. It was a tense few minutes. Then, a bright white light flashed. And I mean, this shit was blinding. We all thought, oh, that's it. We've been nuked. The nuke has come, and now we're all gonna die, right? Because that's how bright it was. Like, it blinded us for a hot minute. Couldn't see anything but bright whites. Everybody was shielding their eyes. The women and children were crying and screaming. I heard somebody let loose a shark, hit his drawers. He was mad about it, and it stunk, so I was kind of mad about it. I almost shit myself, I'm not gonna lie. If I had some kind of a milk product, dairy, I would have farted and shit all at the same time. What was that? Is that a creature? But that didn't happen, so thank God. I wasn't sneaky. But it did happen to a couple of people. Heard it, seen it, smelled it. It was disgusting. But anyway, after the brightness subsided, a message came over the television once again. But this time, it was the President of the United States of America. I don't know who President of the United States of America is at this time. I'm lying, I know who it is. But it was President of the United States of America. And he said, "Citizens of America, We were attacked by a civilization not of this earth. With the combined efforts of the world powers, we have successfully repelled this menace from the earth. Happy New Year. And then the broadcast cut off. You know what I'm saying? They didn't go into any detail. There's nothing explained. Nobody said what happened, why it happened, or anything. They didn't say it was safe to go outside. Nothing. Just, we won, you're safe. The world is ours again. Needless to say, folks, things started to return to normal again. We could see normally. There were street lights, blah, 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 blah. You could see in front of you, saw the husks of dead creatures that were like giant spiders, but weren't giant spiders. But they looked kind of like giant spiders, but they weren't giant spiders, okay? I just want you to really understand it. They looked kind of like giant spiders, but they weren't giant spiders! They weren't giant spiders, okay? This is not 8-legged freaks or anything like that. Because they didn't have 8 legs. I told you they had more than 8 legs. They just kind of looked like spiders. But they weren't. But we seen these dead spider-like things on the ground. All over the place. Dead. Some of them shot up. Some of them just seemed like they just rolled over and died. Don't know what killed them. Maybe it had something to do with the big bright flash of light. We didn't ponder. We quickly began setting to work burning the bodies of them and some of the humans, because apparently they laid eggs in some of the people. So we didn't know how else to deal with it. So we burnt them too. Unfortunately, a lot of people ended up getting burned. They couldn't tell the families about it and shit. Nobody wants to see their dead family member fucking body riddled with giant spider-like thing eggs. It's gross. It's gross. This is something that I'll never forget. We got home earlier today and we just all sat down and just kind of stared at each other for an hour. Just staring at each other. And then we went back to life as usual. So, thank you for joining me for another stupid scary story from OmenG. Number 35. We'll call this one Giant Spider Things from the Dark.